Hey y'all. So I think it's been about, from what I saw in my videos, about a month or so since I've made a video. As you guys know, I had finished up my nurse practitioner program back in April, and then I ended up taking my boards like towards the end of June. So what I had been doing for work, I've been working with a nurse practitioner who owns like her own smaller practice. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing. I am right now currently looking for like other work, rather that be like a nursing position or a nurse practitioner position, just because I do want to supplement my income a little bit. Just because the lady that I work with, she, has a small practice, so the pay is not going to be like as high, obviously, as it would be in certain other settings. However, nonetheless, it's still been like a really good, valuable experience for me, and definitely like a unconventional setting and a setting too where it's just very like a underserved population and stuff. So it's taught me a lot with trying to manage patients who are in like more complicated situations or who may not always have the resources that maybe some patients in the more well-off areas have. So anyways, though, aside from that, for my search, as far as my job search and how that's going, so I have an interview coming up. I'm a little bit nervous about that. I don't really want to speak too much about it, but I do have an interview coming up for a nurse practitioner position. It's part-time. Um, and it's I don't know, like I'm not really sure how to feel about it. I think I'll know more once I like actually get there, and just kind of see like what they're talking about, what to expect from like day to day, pay wise, and then what their expectations and stuff are as well. Because I am a little bit nervous because when it comes to certain skills, as those who are like in ENP school or um, for those who are like new nurse practitioners like myself, most of our programs don't really do like they don't really go into depth like with certain things. As an example, x-ray interpretation, suturing, stuff like that. Some of us gain that experience through like work and then also through like clinical rotations and stuff. But a lot of times when you go to your clinical placements, depending on your setting and your school's rules, you may not even be allowed to do some of those procedures. So sometimes you graduate and you don't know how to do that stuff. So for me, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not really a person who has ever done sutures. I've watched them, but I've never done them. Um, when it comes to like certain other things, like pelvic exams was another thing that was listed on the little form for this new position that I'm interviewing for. Like I feel confident with that because I've done that several times as a nurse. But there's, a lot of things that I'm like gonna have to tell them like I don't have the experience doing that, but I can learn. I can learn pretty fast and figure it out. I'm sure it can't be that hard. I've had some x-ray interpretation experience from when I was working in the urgent care setting, in my clinicals. And so I feel somewhat okay about it, but not like, 100% okay about it. And so I actually, that goes to say, or I say that to say, or all of this to say, is that it's kind of important if you are able to get those experiences performing certain procedures during your clinical rotations, if it's um, not as long as it's allowed through your program, um, or if you have some other way that you can gain that experience, maybe like on the job as a nurse or something like that, or if you just have an opportunity to work with somebody who's going to let you do that stuff, even if it's outside of school, like please get that experience because it's very valuable and it can help with getting positions in the future as a nurse practitioner, and just for your overall confidence level, because you can just go into an interview and say, yeah, I know how to do that, and it won't be like a big deal. um so Yeah, I have that next week. I did have another interview a few days ago, and it was really just for something that was part time, and it was not for a NP position. It was for a nursing position. But like I said, I'm kind of applying to both because I did want to supplement my income and stuff, and just gain some different experience as well. Because like right now, I do primary care, but that is gonna obviously be a lot different than doing like urgent care, which is what I'm interviewing for next week. Or it's going to be different than doing public health or COVID focused things. So um, we shall see, how it goes. I'm looking forward to that. Kind of excited, but then also kind of nervous about it because I don't know what their expectations are. But I do believe, because like y'all, I'm a researcher, okay? Like I'm nosy, so I will, if I have an interview anywhere, or if I'm about to go to a new doctor, or even if I'm about to go to a new restaurant or whatever the case may be, like I am a chronic researcher, so I will go and look at reviews. I'll go and look at all type of stuff. So I did look up this place on like this site it's called Glassdoor, and then I also look on like Indeed and stuff too, and I just look up reviews. I'll even do a Google search. I'll try to find reviews of what patients have said about the place. And then I'll look at reviews of what employees have said. I'll look at responses from the company if they have one on the sites, because sometimes they do have a response to reviews on the sites as well. I look at average salaries. I check out their website just to see like what it's looking like. I mean, I look at all of that stuff because I don't like to go into anything just not knowing some kind of background information, especially the stuff that's really going to affect me. Like over the years and over like all the time, I be having several different jobs, as y'all know, or as some of y'all know. I've just kind of learned to really try to look at those things before interviewing and before actually like working at a place and stuff as well. So I did my research, and the place got like mixed reviews from employees, but it got really good reviews from patients, and that's kind of good. It seemed like the one uniform thing that I was seeing from employee reviews was that it was good teamwork, and good friendly team members to work with. And so for me, that's something that's really important, even if the pay is a little bit less, because I don't like working with people that's mean. I don't like working with people that, don't want to work. I don't like working with people that, don't want to help out or don't want to, maybe train someone. I don't want to work in that environment. Like I'm good. I just don't want to do that. So seemed like that was something that was across the board from a lot of the employees, as far as like pros of the place. So I'm like, okay, well that's good. And then the young lady who called me, she seemed to be pretty friendly as well. And they seem to be pretty thorough, like as far as the paperwork they want you to bring in, even to the interview and stuff like that. And this is actually too, I found out that this particular urgent care is one that I had actually went to as a patient, or is affiliated with. That urgent care is affiliated with this one. And I've always had a very great experience at that particular urgent care. So, I'm like, okay, well, that's another positive thing too, as well. So yeah, I'll have to update y'all on like how that goes and stuff. Um, as far as the nurse practitioner life, because I know that's a big thing for some of us who are either getting ready to graduate, or some of my nurses thinking about becoming a nurse practitioner, or um, for those who are like new or newly graduated like myself. I would say so far the adjustment process has been a little bit probably different for me than it would have been for some other people, because the lady that I'm working with is somebody that I knew since like the beginning of last year, and I actually did my clinicals with her. So I had kind of already like knew how she was, knew how it was to work with her and her expectations for one. And then she like has so much faith in me too. So that has kind of boosted my confidence. But I would say the biggest thing that she did for me when I first was her student was gave me all these resources to be able to reference. And that has been, that has been very valuable throughout my school, and then now especially. Like, I literally, for those who are new or getting ready to graduate, looking for jobs or whatever, or in clinicals, like as a new NP, I look up a lot of stuff. Like, I look up a ton of stuff. I'm always having to find myself looking up like dosages for stuff. Hippocrates is my best friend. I'm sure those who are in school or who are NPs know all about it. And they, a lot of times they'll give you like a free subscription if you catch them at certain times. You can find a code to be able to get a free subscription. So that's how I got a free year subscription through them. And so, yeah, it's been my best friend. It tells you dosages. It'll tell you indications. It will even show you, another thing that's been helpful is it will show you pictures. So it'll show you like what doses each tablet comes in. And then another thing that I have been doing, because when I have to order meds, I will literally do like a Google search and see, because I be needing to know the quantity, and the EHR that we use, I have to put that in manually. So I'll even Google search some pictures of these meds and stuff to see, like, inhaler wise, like how much is the grams, or certain like ointments or creams, like how much grams does that come in, because I don't be knowing. So I just have to put something in the EHR or whatever. But yeah, Hippocrates has been really good for that. And just everything, really. Dosages, indications for stuff, or you can type in a condition and it'll kind of tell you treatment based on like certain criteria of a patient. So that has been very helpful. And like I said, though, y'all, I look up everything. That kind of helps summarize a lot. And then I kind of have learned too is that as a new NP, yes, you're new and you're going to feel like, oh Lord, like it's a lot of stuff I feel like I still really don't know. But you do have to kind of, I guess you can say, fake it till you make it with a lot of the patients and stuff. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, let me go, ask. Can't really ask nobody. I mean, you probably can, but you can't say that to them. So just kind of have to have a confidence to yourself and stuff as well when you're dealing with patients, so that they can trust you, and so that you can build a rapport with them, especially like if you work in primary care and you're going to see them more often and stuff. So that's been like another thing I guess I could say that I have, that has been applicable to me as a new nurse practitioner. Job saturation. So I know that has been a common topic, not only in Michigan where I am, but like a lot of, pretty much everywhere, because there's so many online programs and stuff like that. So a lot of people have a hard time finding jobs. What I will say is this: your first job it's a possibility you might not get paid as much as you would like, or you may end up somewhere that you're not, like, it's not 100% something that you want to do. Like, it might not be your ideal thing that you had hopes of doing when you finish. So it may be something like that. You might have to make some sacrifices just to gain that experience and stuff, because I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've probably always said that primary care was never like something that I wanted to do as a family nurse practitioner. It just never has been something that I really wanted to do. It is a good experience though, so I'm just thankful for that, and the fact that I do have a job, especially now during COVID, because a lot of places, they on hiring freezes or whatever else. So as far as job saturation goes though, so far this will be the first NP job that has contacted me outside of me where I work now, which that doesn't count to me because I had already knew her. But I think that it's really important to maintain relationships from your clinical sites. I think that it's really important to maintain relationships at the jobs that you may have worked in as a nurse if they hire nurse practitioners. Um, and it's good to join like those like the Facebook groups, nurse practitioner groups, stuff like that, because and the professional organizations, because sometimes I'll see job postings for them as well. I haven't seen so many from Michigan, but that's still another avenue as well. So yeah, just try to maintain all of those resources so that you can hopefully find a job with ease. You know, like I said, I was very blessed. And I think had I not been in communication with this nurse practitioner, if I hadn't met her, I think right now I would honestly probably be working as a nurse right now, until I found a nurse practitioner position. And then, you know, too, a lot of people too work as a nurse and as a nurse practitioner. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. If you need income, extra money, go ahead and do that. I don't think nothing is wrong with that. You know, or if it's something that you want to do. Some people want to continue to work as a nurse doing something that they really like while also getting experience as a nurse practitioner. Nothing wrong with that. I'm finding that a lot of nurse practitioner jobs that I'm seeing are some are like part-time. A lot of them are part-time, or they might be 1099 or whatever. So do whatever you got to do to have benefits, to make ends meet, you know, so that you'll have enough income, because a lot of us probably have student loans, and to be happy and stress-free. Like, do whatever you got to do to be in that predicament. Um, so so yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. Oh, another thing that I've now found is that once you finish school, then you start thinking about all the other stuff that you kind of neglected during school, like all the stuff that you actually like to do, because you know a lot of that gets pushed to the back burner. When you're in nurse practitioner school, because you are so focused on trying to study and make sure you know everything for that, or be prepared for clinicals and then still work, most of us. So a lot of that stuff got pushed to the back burner for me. And so as soon as I like graduated, I went straight from doing that to really studying for boards. So now I'm like, oh shoot, it's other stuff to do. Like, it's other stuff that I actually like to do that I can actually do now. So I know it sounds crazy probably, but yes, I did not have no time to you know, I didn't have time to read in my spare time, some stuff that I actually wanted to read. So I had started doing that. Once I passed boards and stuff, you know, started actually reading for fun, because I could never read for fun for several years. What else did I start doing? I've been able to spend more time with, like, you know, some of my good friends and stuff, and you know, be more in communication with my closer friends and everything. And y'all, just last week, I scheduled a vacation. Yes, a vacation. Finally, because I haven't had one in over a year. So I'm officially going to North Carolina to see my best friend and her family and stuff. And really more like my family, really, at this point. So like, I'm excited. Everything with COVID and stuff had kind of postponed things too. And so now I'm just gonna go with my N95 into the airport and, you know, go on my little hour, however long flight, and you know, just get a rest, because I really, like I said, I haven't gotten one. So that's another thing that I've been able to do now that I don't have to study for boards and stuff. What else? Oh, I became a Color Street stylist. For those who do not know, Color Street is the nail strips. You can kind of see my hands look big in this, but that has become something that I got off into because I was buying them for my own personal use, and then somebody approached me about being a stylist, and I was like, okay, why not? It'll be an extra stream of income. and it's something that I actually like, that I can actually vouch for and stuff. So I kind of started getting off into doing that as well. And I've been thinking about learning how to do some other cosmetic, like cosmetic related things, like um as a possible like side hustle and something that I'm actually passionate about as well. Cause I was like, you know what? You only live once. Like, I think that it's always wise to continue to grow your talents or to hone in on whatever your talents are. So now that school is done for me, I'm kind of like looking at stuff like that. Like, okay, what else could you do for extra income? What else do you like to do? Like, what else you want to be doing with yourself? So I've been thinking about some certain things like microblading, stuff like that. But um yeah, so I've been enjoying my little spare time. I really can't complain. Stuff could be better, but stuff could definitely be much worse. Um, and so I'm just really like living life and stuff. I hope that my video was helpful. I do plan to continue to make more videos, especially once I get off into another nurse practitioner position as well. Because right now I'm doing primary care, but I do also want to speak on some of the other areas that you can work as a nurse practitioner as well. Like if I end up, working in this urgent care and things like that. So until later, y'all, have a good one.